The Mavic Pro from Amazon. It is $1,299 for the deluxe bundle that also includes 2 additional batteries. This is the bundle that I picked up, and I highly recommend the additional batteries. So I will have the link in the description below to check the Mavic Pro out on Amazon. Make sure to check it out if you haven't already. It is a fantastic foldable quadcopter, guys. I have also created a before you buy the Mavic Pro, a what to know review. So I will have a link in the description below, and a card will pop up on the screen right now. But let's move on to the full review, guys, and this is a quadcopter that really excited me. I've wanted to get into the prosumer quadcopter market for a very long time now, and this was basically the perfect piece to the puzzle. This is something that I looked into and basically initially thought, yeah, this is what I want. After a little bit more research and after looking into the development behind this, I was super excited about the Mavic Pro. Now, the one big plus is the portability of it, how tiny it is, and the fact that it can fit basically in cargo pants, in decent sized pockets. You can fit the Mavic Pro. Now, I just ordered myself a briefcase, so you can ensure that the travel is safe as well, or you can also pick up a bag which comes in the bundle pack, the deluxe bundle. So it just depends, but it is a very portable drone, and that was one of the biggest things for me personally. Now, moving on to a little bit of a negative, because this is such a small drone, the clearance is tiny. I think I maybe get like 1 or 2 centimeters from the actual camera, and that's from the ground. So you have to think about rocks, you have to think about grass, and that was one thing that has been an ongoing issue for me. I've actually picked myself up some landing gear and a landing pad, because you literally have no clearance, so you have to ensure that you have a safe place to land. Now, that is a little bit of a downside, but it's a trade-off that I guess we had to deal with for the portability of this drone here. Now, onto the actual camera itself. Now, this is the one thing that you want to look into when it comes to aerial photography or video work. You want to ensure that the camera is decent, and the Mavic Pro can offer beautiful 4K sharp images at 24 frames per second. You can also shoot in 1080p, 2.7K and 720p as well. You can also shoot at a lower resolution of 4K at 30 frames per second, and 1080p can go up to 96 frames per second, which is ridiculous. And the photos are also beautiful as well. It's only a 12 megapixel camera, so it isn't the most beautiful imagery in the world, but I guarantee you guys that you will produce some amazing photos with this little drone here. There is something to know about the Mavic Pro, which is something that takes a little bit of time to get used to. So if you want to ensure that you get the sharpest, richest image, then you need to make sure that you tap or press to autofocus, because if you don't do that, then the video or the picture will be very blurry, it will be very dull, and you won't have much sharpness to the image. So you need to make sure and just get into the habit of tapping to focus, and that's something that I actually programmed into one of the back bumpers. So every time I take off, tap to focus, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of that flight there. The powerful 4K camera is also accompanied by a 3-axis gimbal with brushless motors to ensure that you get the smoothest possible shot. And guys, it does an amazing job of creating smooth, rich images that just work perfectly in every sort of condition that you can imagine. That is another thing to mention, guys. The Mavic actually does an amazing job handling itself in super windy conditions. It has processors on board to account for different wind conditions and different weather conditions in general. So it does an amazing job of stabilizing itself and hovering in a set point. And overall, I was mind blown by the experience. You get 27 minutes of battery life, and with the 3 batteries, I'm getting up to an hour's worth of battery life on pretty much every flight, which is just breathtaking when you think about the evolution of drones in the last couple of years. The Mavic is extremely powerful, but it's also extremely smart. They have sensors built in to ensure that you don't smash into obstacles and to ensure that you don't land on obstacles as well. So you have these avoidance sensors that beep and don't allow you to hit into obstacles. So even when you set up the travel home or return home feature, the drone itself will counter every obstacle in the way, and it will land as close as it can to that home point. From all of the tests that I did, it landed within about a 5-meter radius of where I actually set the drone off from, so that is really great. They also say that you can get a 7-kilometer range from the drone, which is ridiculous. At that point, you would have no line of sight, and it would be very dangerous and probably obstructing some sort of government law. But for the time being, you know, you don't really need to go that far. You can get beautiful images from half a K away or even further. So this is a great little drone that can pretty much do everything that the big drones can do. We have a few different modes on the Mavic. So you have the altitude mode, and you also have the sports mode, which is mind-blowing. It's insanely fast in sports mode. You also have the normal mode just for nimble controls. You have gesture, which basically allows you to take a picture without the controller in your hand. You just do a gesture and you'll take a picture. Active track is amazing. It will track you based on a camera movement. Tap to fly or tap fly allows you to just fly continuously in a direction at a set speed, which is amazing for cinematic shots and really amazing swooping shots as well. You've got cinematic mode as well, so it just gives you a little bit more freedom there. Tripod mode is amazing. It just locks the speed of your drone so you get insanely smooth and slow movements. Again, amazing. You have terrain follow, so it tries to follow over the terrain and use the sensors to miss obstacles and lift up as high as it can. You've got point of interest to just circle a subject. Follow me mode, which works off your phone's GPS. Waypoints, home lock, and course lock. You also have a beginner mode as well if you're starting out. I love the full control that I have over the Mavic, so I can play around with the EV, the shutter speed, the ISO, or I can just set it up in manual or auto. I can play around with white balance, style, and color as well, so even though this is a tiny drone, it packs a punch. You have a variety of different features, you have full customization, and it's a really powerful portable drone, guys. I can't stress that enough. This thing is a perfect tool for filmmakers, for hobbyists, for people who just want to get into droning, really. This is honestly one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, just for portability, for ease of use, for everything, guys. It's really amazing. I've had so many successful flights. I've taken so many people out and they've loved it. It's literally the most enjoyable thing that I've taken up recently. In terms of a hobby or a passion, I'm in love, guys. I was also very hesitant about picking up the controller as it looked very cheap and flimsy from all of the videos that I'd seen, but I can guarantee you guys that this controller is built really well. Amazing materials have been used. It's a sturdy, robust build, and this thing is going to last for a long time. One thing I was a little concerned about was the folding mechanism. I was curious as to how long that would take to, deteriorate, or how long until wear and tear would start taking effect on these mechanisms, but I've used it so many times and it still feels super solid, really stable, and it's doing its job. So I think this is going to last for a long time, guys. This has been built from the ground up by DJI, and they are a trusted name in the droning market. So this is something that I was very excited about, and I can't wait to see what they do with future iterations of the Mavic Pro, because where it stands right now, this is a powerhouse, and I absolutely love it, guys. I've mentioned those small things that you have to think about, the clearance. You also have to think about the autofocus. The other thing I guess I have to mention is the small issue that I'm having with the follow me mode, but that is coming down to my iPhone 7 Plus. Apparently that's a common issue with people. It just doesn't seem to work. It says weak GPS, so that's something to keep mindful of if you do own an iPhone 7 Plus and you want to use the follow me mode, but the active track mode is just as good, if not better, so it's not like you're missing out necessarily. Just keep that in mind. In sports mode, the Mavic can also reach speeds of 65 kilometers per hour, which is just mind-blowing. Again, that's insanely fast for such a small drone, and to be able to maneuver through the sky with such precision at such a high speed, again, is amazing. So guys, let's go through the main features. It is a 4K video camera, it has a 3-axis gimbal to stabilize footage, a 27-minute flight time per battery, and a control range of up to 7 kilometers with a 12 megapixel camera as well. This powerful little drone packs a punch with so many different software features and functions, and the portability just gets me so excited, guys. The fact that I can fold this up and put it in a bag is probably the biggest selling point for me. The fact that it's 4K as well is amazing. The camera is beautiful on here. I will mention low light isn't fantastic with the Mavic Pro. You need to ensure that you're filming in a well lit situation, because low light is not fantastic. But guys, these small little things that take away from the Mavic really are small in the grand scheme of things. This is a marvelous piece of technology, and it offers so much on a prosumer level. It's so easy to pick up though for any consumer, so even though it offers the prosumer functionality, it's very easy to pick up, and I would highly recommend this to anyone who wants to get into the droning industry or into the quadcopter industry. A beautiful drone with so much to offer, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I will have the link in the description below to check out my before you buy the Mavic Pro, and also to buy the Mavic Pro from Amazon if you're interested. Both of those links will be below. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more quality reviews and tech content. Have a fabulous day though, guys, and peace out.